we're in this world just one time. We need to create and be able to touch people and help. Yeah,
Love it.
that's how I see it, because I saw a lot on that side, and I want to put my moms in a house, right?
Yeah.
Put myself in a house,
Yeah.
and with Airbnbs, put other people in a house.
Recording except for
Okay, and we are rolling. Welcome back to a new episode of the Yacht Club, the #1 podcast in Houston. Today we are sitting down with Zachary and DeSanti, who's been here since day one, unfortunately,
what?
and myself.
Ooh.
Why did you say that?
Shade.
Wait,
I'm just kidding. We love DeSanti. We love DeSanti. Okay, so for those of you that don't know Zach, he is an entrepreneur. He runs a bunch of different pages on Instagram. One of them that stood out to me, we will get into topic in discussion with in a couple of minutes. But first, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you're about, and then one of us will grab it and take it from there.
All right, well, I'm Zachary Dobson from Houston, Texas. Hold it down. So I do a bunch of different things. So I have Trident Time, where we sell homage watches through online means of drop shipping. Also, I do have 2 event companies, one major league shows, and also UH parties that you've probably seen a flyer floating around IG, or if you're on the UH campus, literally about everywhere. So yeah, that's what I also write robots. That's my 9-to-5 job. So I just got a new one. We'll be traveling to Chicago and going state to state, wherever they send me, going to build robotic automations.
Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of what I do.
That's interesting. Okay, so that's 4 high grade topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and...
How do you balance that out? Like, which one is your main priority? Which one do you think is like your thing?
So how I balance it out is, well, I got bills to pay, so I do the robots. So of course, job is the main priority, and I kind of mix everything in together. Definitely nowadays in 2019, Instagram, everything that when it comes to my brands pushes through that medium. So as we're going and building things, like when I go out to Chicago, I'll be taking pictures of my watches, as well as making, I'm the IT guy when it comes to UH parties and events. So I have 4 partners with that. So it kind of spreads out. So I do a lot of the data on that, and the same thing with the watches. So really, I'm on my phone all the time.
Yeah.
It's really fun though. It's fun. I like to mix my business with fun, so that's where the events come from. And also what I've learned from that is start selling watches through drop shipping.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like you get to really, like, your life, like your what do you call it? Your businesses are like your hobby.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did you, like, what started that?
Really, it was UH parties. And once I started doing that, I guess it's just massive drive. Like, what I'm afraid of is not being able to build something, just being stuck at a 9-to-5. Like that actually really kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
The 9-to-5 is a means to end to accumulate money, get my skills. I love it to death, but I want to eventually be able to do my own thing. I want to create something that I can give to people so they can enjoy, or make enough money so I can donate to things and actually have an impact other places in the world.
So would you say you're an entrepreneur 100%, no doubt about it?
I think I never really identify as myself as that, but I think so. The more I think about it, I was I've always been my freshman year. I remember we were talking about selling fedoras, and for some reason, oh yeah, we can change out the feathers and the hats, and then we can make money from that. Do it this way. I've just me and my friend always thought, that's how I work.
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the main topic I want to talk about, and you said it started with UH parties, right? Everything with you. So why don't you take us back to how that began and where it's at now?
Well, so I met up with a friend. His name is Gifton. So during this time, I was trying to actually do music production. So I got in touch with someone that says oh, I know Swisher House and all that. Turned to find out it was not all true. Yeah. But I started meeting people though, regardless. So he was someone that I've met. I was also a party chair at Tau Kappa Epsilon. So I'm a fraternity guy. So at that point in time, U of H kind of put a ban on throwing any kind of parties or means for Greek life. And I'm not, I just want to party all the time, but I feel like student life is somewhat lacking in, events for students that come actually be profitable where they can grow from. Usually it's like, I got a chunk of change, I throw it and it burns, and it's kind of lackluster, to be honest. I never really enjoyed it as much when I was a junior. So, we started getting together. I started putting my ideas like, hey, we can bring these guys in, and that way Greek life can have a means of having something without, getting the penalty for it, because it's not them, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to give some opportunities through U of H. So to answer the question, our first party was actually a pool party with 20 people. That was it.
How long ago?
Oh, like 4 years ago.
Okay.
So it was 20 people then. We had the punch in like a freaking ice chest. So we had to like carry it. So like you see like two guys, I filled it up. It wasn't even for like a frat party. Like I'm filling it up in the kitchen because I used to live in the house.
Yeah.
And I put it in there and we're like carrying it out, slushing it out. But we actually went to the View, the one across Bayou Oaks.
Yeah.
It was literally in that little small pool right there. And we registered it for our birthday.
Smart.
And we had a DJ. Like, this was the most lit birthday party they've ever had there with 20 people regardless. So we started with that. We started doing Airbnbs. Our first Halloween party 3 years ago. I remember that one. It was really fun, but we ran out of cups.
Oh no.
We've been through a lot. Photographers, DJs, even our ambassadors. But one thing I have to say is like you have to roll with the punches to be able to adapt quickly. And I got a lot of adversity even when it came to the people closest to me from doing this type of stuff. U of H party stands for Unlimited Houston Parties. But since
you smart ass.
What do you mean?
That's the way.
But anyway, I had a lot of people like, oh, they're gonna say about this, throwing, and people were really not supporting, which I really wanted their support. They were closest to me.
Like because they thought that you were like stood for something else.
Yeah, either something else. They didn't see like the big picture I was doing. They kind of was like, I would almost say kind of demonizing it, like Greek life, like, hey, don't do that. Like that's for G's. And really, I don't care. Like I'm for everybody because there's nothing there. There's literally a hole in the market for that.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Entrepreneurs.
That's genius. I swear that's genius.
Yeah. So like why the fuck is not anyone doing we because on this podcast? Okay. Why the fuck is anyone doing this?
No boundaries.
So so started from that and kind of rolling with the punches. People, I just don't let other people's opinion kind of put you down.
Yeah.
The only person holding you back is yourself, and that's it. It's literally walk the walk, don't just talk.
Yeah.
Because all these people, they this. Sometimes I feel like they just may not think like that because they're not doing anything like that.
Right.
I kind of have those ideas, and I don't know if you can tell now. Like I get driven by those ideas. Like, let's go do it. Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect.
It's the vision behind it. Right?
Yeah.
As long as you see your vision, the people around you see your vision. That's the only way to succeed. If someone doesn't understand the vision, it's going to totally crumble.
Yeah.
So that was 3 years ago. Tell me where you're at last year and then like today.
Okay. So last year, we went from 20 people up to now.
Actually, tell me the first party that you're like, fuck, this is it. Like we figured it out.
Like when it started, when the momentum started. Talk about that.
All right. Supreme Patti 420 party.
Oh, you got Supreme Patti.
We got Supreme Patti.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So this changed everything.
I was in the VIP bar, but there were so many people. There was 2,000 people there.
Jeez.
Easy.
Enough capacity. Where'd you throw this one?
It was at a mansion party it was in a mansion about like 5 miles. It was right there in South McGregor where all those big houses are.
Yeah,
literally right off. it's called Groovy Grill or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can rent it out.
Yeah.
We rented it out. He already knew what was going down. Then we're like, DJ, bring in Supreme Patti. We had people post up, like vendors selling their merchandises or whatever.
Dope.
We had a bunch of like Supreme T-shirt giveaways and all. It was so much fun.
Okay, let me ask
Yeah.
you this though. Were you scared the day of if Supreme wasn't going to show up? How did you know it was like a guaranteed lock-in, like you got him? Because I know a lot of people that have thrown parties before
Yeah.
that have thought they had people coming, and those people never showed up.
We have a booking method, so we book them. There's contracts. Everything is legit.
Okay.
Like we go through, I know some like these promoters, they kind of like go through work.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very not professional to the T. We have to be professional to the T because that's what we want to do. Because it's not only just these parties. Like we got some other stuff we're looking forward at. This is just stepping stones to get
Right.
where we want.
That's what
And
I'm
that's where
hearing.
this brand is coming in to
Okay.
actually throw concerts and get bigger.
Like
Astroworld.
organizing-
2030 hopefully be us probably
Yeah.
a lot sooner.
That's so
It's
cool.
gonna be sooner.
So
Stuff
like
like
the
that.
entertainment organizing industry, I can tell like from the way you talk, everything has its set place. Everything is
Yeah.
pre-planned and like very well organized.
Yeah.
Wait, but was it like all 6 of you started it together at the same time, or did you recruit them as you went, or?
So actually I was kind of like I wasn't the latest addition. We brought in another guy. He's really good. He helps us with the setup. He does construction, so he has all like some really good tools. He's a very important part of the team. Actually, the group that I met, they've done this kind of promoting before already, but it was more kind of like clubs, and it was a little bit more. I was saying maybe like they were just starting. Then I came in. They brought me in. I was doing Greeks. I was the one that's really out there talking to people. I put myself out there a lot.
Yeah.
Like once you get to know me more, like I kind of don't care.
It's like very outspoken.
Yeah,
which
I'm
is
very
great.
outspoken. I do my thing. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh shoot, well, my bad, or I'll get down, but
Yeah.
I don't let it, keep me back. It's like, because if you're gonna put yourself out there, it's risk and reward with anything. Anything you do is risk and reward. Put yourself out there, awesome. Reward or risk, some person talk crap about you, cool.
Yeah, it's like whatever. it
Whatever,
is.
move it on.
Yeah.
When the momentum started catching with the Supreme Patti party, like just a lot of people showed up. Did you guys market that a certain way, and then it hit off?
Yeah, so we like I can't give too much of like the process, but
Of course.
we've kind of learned what our timeline looks like, and it's also like who you know too. Like we get like our designers, our videographers, we got our set team that we have. We've had very great success with these certain people, and as we get bigger, those opportunities are getting bigger for just business. It's just based like transaction. It's just like a group,
Yeah.
and it just keeps on getting better and better. And the numbers really show. We keep on getting bigger. We're starting to do Tipsy Thursdays every Thursday, so that's kind of like our revenue to grow up. Then party, like we'll throw a party once a month. Then the Tipsy Thursdays as a means to keep
Keeps
on.
the name rolling.
Yeah, it's a machine. Every
So
business
funded.
is a machine.
That's
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
And you're right. Nobody has done that
Yeah.
before.
A lot of people try it, but they get their heads too much into it, into egotism. And that's, you have to be very, very humble because, I could be like, yeah, let me, rent out these cars, these chains, and just go into debt. But no, everything we do it's very smart laid out. Nothing is like, we can't afford it. Like we
Make
put in our
sure.
time, we put in the stripes, and we can flip it and do it. And, wins and losses, but we still climb up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Supreme Patti started off. I'm sorry. Supreme Patti.
Sorry, Patti.
Yeah. Supreme Patti started let's say the new wave to where confidence started building within your brand and company. What are we looking like today?
We're going to start. We had Corey LeRae. So people that don't know who Corey LeRae is, that was our last party. She's Trippie Redd's girlfriend, but she actually has pretty good music. She's really big. I saw her a couple times on World Star so far. Another one that's recent that's real big is Comethazine. Have you heard of him? So he's on the freshman list, freshman XL. And we got him before that. I think with the album that he put out that year is what kind of got him that spot. Then he released more music after that. So we get people that are good, like good artists. It's not, it's not Drake, it's not Travis.
It's like
we're still
popping.
small because we're not trying to grow too big. Because if we got that, then it's like a lot. It's like Travis. These artists, like they take money.
They charge,
Like Easy, Izzy, it's probably even more than this, but like we can get some middle line artists and be easy $50,000 to book them, and that's it. And like, that's even still like a maybe. That's not even like travel, eat, and you gotta go through contracts and it builds up. So that number is just like I just threw that number out there, but they can name the price. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah. So
then this branched out from you investing your time into other business ventures, or how did you say like, hey, I want to do this now?
Yeah. So
what came first?
Well, that's a good question. I would say so. Major League is kind of another brand with kind of UH parties. It's just college, then concerts. So these are going to be
events.
the one, events. So I would say this because I'm going to put the birth date of this as like UH parties. So this came first. I started this with my friend, and I got more stake in this. I want to have a bunch of different businesses. That way, when they become profitable, they can kind of like flow in.
Multiple streams of income.
Yeah, multiple streams of income. And it's really easy to build your own prison as an entrepreneur.
No way.
Well, it's like
like
with time and stuff like that. Because like the idea definitely with these watches and other things is, you can step back and it still makes you money, right? I guess I'm kind of lazy. I want to make something where I could be like, all right, like cool, like just baby maintenance.
Don't have to worry
Let me go over to the beach a little bit and just relax, come back. Oh, I made like hopefully more than $250, but like I come back and I made money.
And so I see where you're going with it.
That's why I need a 9 to 5 right now because it's still baby stages.
100%. Yeah. And that's good that you're saying that too, because a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are like, how do you become successful? How do I become an entrepreneur? Do I need to borrow money from my mom and dad? And then like Gary Vee says it the best. He's like, if you don't want to be structured under your mom and dad's roof, go out and get a fucking job and then use that money to reinvest into something. Like don't have so many bills if you can't afford it. Like the other day I posted something that's like, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. Like,
Jay-Z.
I totally believe in that. Anytime I think about buying something, it's like, okay, can I buy 2 of them? Okay, cool. Like let's go ahead and move forward with it. So Trident Time Company, I'm going to jump back a little bit. Did you start this year or last year?
This year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we went through a bunch of different iterations. Me and my friend Josh, I've known him since my freshman year. He has an entrepreneurial mindset as well. And why I like working with him, and this goes to like just entrepreneurial advice, is like know your strengths and weaknesses. So he's really good at like research and staying like, he has like a laser focus. It is insane, much better than me. I'm kind of more off the walls energy, like do my things, but I could be a little disorganized. I put in like the hard work. I'm willing to do the work that no one else really is willing to do, and take risks. He's really good with research. Like I'll say like, hey Josh, can you like look into this? Then like 2 hours later, boom, all this stuff. I'm like, how the hell did you do this? And he's really good. I can never do that. I'm like always, I got ADD or something.
I think that's both of us, because he'll do the research and work on something for hours.
Yeah.
But if you give me the same amount of time, I'll work on 5 different things and only do like a little bit of each thing and then jump around, and I can't stay focused.
Right.
So it's good to know, and also he knows when to pull back. When he's not good at something, he's like, you do it. And you kind of have to know whenever,
it's like checks and balances.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm really interested. Tell me about your 9 to 5.
My 9 to 5?
Yeah, the robots. Like, just break it down for me because I'm not there. So tell me a little bit about it, how you got into it, and then like just give me a day to day.
Okay. It's RPA. RPA's been around for a while, but it started really popping probably 2 years ago. Definitely in Houston. It's really hot in Houston. It stands for Robotic Process Automation. So what that means is, for Lazy Lampoons, for example, I'm pretty sure you have to do a lot of invoicing, right? Like paperwork and stuff like that on your computer.
Yep.
It's like just information, and it's repetitive, and it's tiring, and like, I don't want to do this. I can make you a robot for that. And basically, you give it the information it needs. you press play, and what I developed for you, the robot will do it, and you can go over and watch TV.
Okay, so you take their processes and automate them.
Yep.
Super cool.
Yeah, so I do that I used to do that for energy companies. So, I can't give up client names, but I was in the energy corridor quite a bit. and I supported the robots, I built the robots, and how I got into that actually was not even through school at all.
Really? So you didn't go to college for this?
Yeah, no. So I graduated U of H with the MIS degree, but my GPA was shit. I had like a 2.6. So I was like, hey, like EY, or like, hey, like Shell, Chevron, like, do you want me? They're like, no, bro, you don't got a 3.5, you're dumb. And I got a whole opinion about that. Nothing against GPAs, but you don't need one to be successful. You just have to put in more work, and a lot of people don't like that. And I think it's kind of like ego, or maybe just like, I get it. It sucked. I didn't have a job for like almost a good year right out of school. I was kind of freaking out just a little bit. But I was on ZipRecruiter, and it was like, oh, like robots. And I was like, I'm not going to get this. Let me send it in anyways, just for giggles. Boom. Then I got a call back, and I was like, what? Hey, like, what's up? Like, okay. Started talking. I was like, I don't have like robotic experience. I was being at this point, like, I'm just honest with the interviews. It was like, well, if you did, I would already hire you. This is actually really, really new. I would like to talk to you. And I was like, okay.
Oh, nice.
So went in there. I realized that there's actually a free platform out there. It's open source called UiPath. So if you want to get into robotics, UiPath Academy, take the course. It's like a 40-hour course, but like,
that's really
it can get
cool.
you a job.
That's super cool.
Good information.
Wow.
Yeah. I always tell people that, and that's what I did. I completed all of that by the time of the second interview, because he told me like, hey, even if we don't hire you, like, you should still, do it. You could be of value to someone. So I was like, okay. So the second interview, I was like, bam, there's my certificate.
Yeah.
It kind of had a mentality like, if you don't hire me, I can walk down the street.
Yeah.
I'm a closer, bro.
Yeah.
And he smiled. I was like, I knew you were going to do that. So I got an internship because the GPA thing was still that. It was actually a startup too.
Oh, okay.
So like, I'm like startup mania.
Yeah.
And started. And that's kind of how I did. I got into that. And
How long ago was that?
2 years ago, maybe even 3. It was like November 2017.
Had you started UH parties at this time, or was it around the same time?
No, UH Party has already been going on.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so on my resume I put like technology director of Unlimited Houston events. And they're like, oh yeah, like what's this, like, oh, I just
What kind of
do
event?
favors. I've actually had a sponsorship from one of my Teak alumni from No Label. Used to give us kegs. I mean, like 8
No way.
full barrel kegs for free. I would be like, I'll tell him like, bro, like I only need like 2. Like here's 8. I'm like,
All right.
oh, all right. And so I'm here trying to put these in my Civic. I'm leaving the place, and my car's like this, like low.
Oh my gosh. How do you guys set? Like, you have a crew that comes and sets everything up?
We do now.
Okay, you
Before
have
we
to.
had to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
And when I had my 9 to 5, I couldn't do that day to day. So I'm also very appreciative of our team. If you're watching this, guys, thank you. You are dearly loved, and we appreciate y'all. UHP life, go. That I may have fallen off the rafters before.
No.
My friend also did too. We're here holding up a ladder, one leg's out while he's trying to hold it. I'm like, this is like not safe at all. He actually fell down on the ground. It was insane. He fell down, and like inches away from him, there was like rebar sticking out.
No.
I got some crazy stories if you want to do like for another time. Like I got.
No, give me.
What's the craziest
I was
one?
gonna say, give me the craziest night.
Yeah.
Like, did you wake up in Thailand or something?
For myself, I can't get drunk. I'm never drunk at my events.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Was that sarcasm?
A little bit of sarcasm. I have fun at mine. Craziest thing. I know there was a video. There was like this this dude basically threw up all over himself. I see that all the time.
It's normal.
This photo was particularly best. Like everyone's like in a room. It was actually it was our Playboy Mansion party. This was still like the first year, and it was actually at the Rice Mansion, and that is Beyonce's real estate.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was actually the last event before they tore it down, and like there was like platinum records, like the
Wow.
Knowles family, like they owned that establishment. I was kind of low key like, yo, can I like meet Beyonce?
Yeah.
Like, can I get an autograph sent to me or something? Like low key, like that's kind of cool.
That's badass.
Anyways, it was just like this. I kind of feel bad. It kind of looked like Attack of the Nerds type kind of thing. He was kind of acting weird in there because it's for everyone. I was showing them a good time, and I think I might have caused this because I'm nice. I'm like, hey, I like meet people. Like I could tell he was a little socially awkward, so I'm trying to like help him.
Yeah,
like hey,
loosen up.
like loosen up. Like yeah, where's your friends at? Okay, cool. Well, this guy, he was actually like passed out on the couch just like this while everything else is like going else around him.
Oh no.
Like, there may have not been blunts or not blunts being passed around in
There
that
wasn't.
room. Like, there was stuff going on in the room, and I'm just watching him. He's just dead. Then all of a sudden, this girl like taps him. He looks over, starts flying chunks all over, and I'm in there, and all I hear is like, like screams. And this guy just like he's not even moving, just going like out like this. I'm like, bro.
Oh, no.
I was like, I need to get this man out. So I was like, Joey's party ambassador, get your gloves, man. And we had to take him out. There was a video on that. That's why I still remember it. That shit was it was something like out of a movie. It was terrible and funny. So there's that. Someone thought he was a Power Ranger outside.
Power Ranger or Power Ranger?
Ranger. I see some things. He starts like kicking around, thinking like he's some type of ninja. Like it's on the ground. It's like I'm dead ass. Like I'm feeling the earth. Like, and I was like, hey, like sure, like I could call you an Uber. It's like
Oh my
3 o'clock in the morning. Like this guy looks like he got beat up. Later on, I found a video. Like he did because he was wilding out. Like I actually had to call the cops to like get him
Oh
out.
no.
But
Tell me about Houston Horror Story.
so Houston Horror Story. This is the biggest Houston party. Like I really think it is. Like for young adults.
Oh my god.
I'm going to estimate 1,500 people going to be there
Oh my
easily.
God. When is it? Friday or Saturday?
It's Friday.
Friday.
So that'll be the 26th. Right, 26th.
Yeah.
VIP right here?
Yeah, you guys are on the guest list. I always put on my stories. Follow me, Zachary Dobson.
Yeah.
I definitely got y'all. And anyone else that's on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
I'll make up for not coming to the potluck.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll get a bottle for y'all too. I'll be there and I'll make sure y'all have a good time. We also got the hottest DJ. So like DJ Fawn, he's actually opened up at like Freaky Deaky. He plays at Clay a lot and moves like big. Like we have like big people from the
That's
city.
super cool.
Clay, Spire, he's there all the time. He's opened up for artists at Spire before. We have him, another DJ, and like the photographer for Clay too. Maybe I'm throwing their names too much. we have
Pretty big deal.
yeah, it's pretty big people, pretty big deals, and yeah, like you can get featured on one of our videos. He does a great job. We have games. We'll have actors dress up as like zombies or mummies. We kind of give them like do what you want to do
play
and like
around.
freak people out.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I love
You-
that.
Sounds
Yeah, you can take pictures with them. We got where is the things like it's kind of a backdrop.
Backdrops
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
pictures.
backdrops for pictures. We'll post that on our page, and we have two scenes outside where is our main event. Then if you like the cramp kind of sweaty ragers, that's inside.
No.
Yo,
No.
I like both, but I'm just saying, be prepared for upstairs. Oh, that reminds me of another crazy story. We've been in a bar that was having a party upstairs, our party, and literally the ceiling was starting to bend, and we had to stop because the bar down below, the bottles were rattling because people were jumping all in the center, like, yo, we got to disperse a little
Yeah.
bit. That part was a little crazy because I'm you know, I'm chilling downstairs. I'm like tired. I was bouncing, and I'm just looking at the bar like, oh. Yo, ambassador. Yo, just spread them out. Tell them to stop jumping right there. It was fine, but it's just like you seeing stuff like that, and you know, coming from 20 people to that. Yeah. I know all this stuff. Like it might like scare some people, but no, everything is fine. We got insurance. We got cops on scene. Everything is professionally done. Well, yeah. Nothing has ever happened, and it's good. Yeah.
Where do you see it going?
That's the long-term goal, right?
Festivals. Okay.
And that's what that is, right? Major League. That's where you're trying to transition into.
You know what?
Yeah.
What?
I have a 10-year goal list. One of them is to help organize a festival. So maybe in 5 years I'll hit you up and I'll have my thing and be like, hey,
Okay.
what's up?
What's wrong with 3?
Okay. Bet.
No, yeah, I've always been to music. I actually wanted to. I built beats before. Like I have a mic, I have my computer, I make songs. So that's kind of how I started into this. Is I wanted to learn that part of the industry, music business, because that's my passion. When it comes outside of all this business stuff, like I am trying to get financial freedom and also fund that. Because it's expensive, like the mics, the computers, and like the studio time. And I have friends that do it. I put more time into this, but now that I'm traveling and being on planes for like 3 hours at a time, I'm going to use that.
Extra time
Yeah.
to produce.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
I love doing it.
So music industry meaning like, do you want to get into management or production, or do you actually want to get into the front end of music?
Creation.
Okay.
Yeah, everything. I'm a creator. I love creating things. When it comes to like watch businesses, I find that as an art.
Yeah.
I haven't perfected it yet, but I mean, trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Tillman Fertitta didn't get to Landry's in his first go.
No,
Right.
It took him years and many things to go through. Start small, fail fast, learn fast.
Have you ever met Tillman before?
No, I haven't.
He's actually, he's at Bisu a lot.
Oh, really?
Like have you been to Bisu?
It's probably a shame that I haven't. I haven't yet. I've been everywhere but Bisu. Yeah.
I'll take you one day.
Oh, bet. All right.
It's a great place to go, but he's there a lot, and he's like, it's so crazy because I've seen interviews with him, and he seems stuck up, but he's actually a really down to earth guy, which is cool because at the end of the day, I'm guessing when you become a billionaire, you get to the point of just like, all right, you're pretty humbled down now. You got
Nothing to lose, nothing to prove.
Nothing to prove.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
What's even crazy is like when I see him like do like bought the Bentley dealership or like the Rockets. A lot of people watch him, and some people are like, oh, like because he has like a lot of money. Like, no, he actually earned. I see that as like respect. Like he's built that. Like that didn't take. Oh, like I have millions of dollars now. I can do whatever I want to do. Like no, that took that amount of money plus like 30 years. Yeah. That's how I see things like that. I'm like that's
work.
Like time, respect.
I saw an interview with him. Have you ever seen the podcast Impulsive?
I heard of it.
With Logan Paul. All right, so Tillman was on there maybe a couple weeks ago, and Logan asked him. He was like, "What's the most money you've spent on like a recreational buy, just something for fun?" And his answer was the Houston Rockets. Like everyone died. Like it was such a dope answer.
I'm done. Wrap this up.
Like think about that answer. The Houston Rockets. You know.
Damn it.
Epic answer. Yeah.
Oh man. What about y'all? Like you asked a lot of questions about. Has anyone ever asked y'all this question? Like, what's your end goal with this? How big do you want? You want your own studio? Like.
So I mean, with us, I appreciate you asking. Yeah, not a lot of people do. So like we have this going on. End goal with this, honestly, I have no clue. I did this just for fun and ended up going state to state. We're gonna go to Canada next week.
That's badass.
And then we run like a drop shipping company where we sell different products on an online marketplace.
That's just kind of like our capital to fund the fun stuff, which is the podcast and then other stuff. Because we're creatives too.
That's like our 9 to 5 type of thing because we're literally on the computer all day, customer service emails, making sure orders are getting shipped out. But with the podcast, we actually started this to be nationwide, and then at a point, I know a guy that runs a radio station here. He was like, focus locally. So we changed it to the Houston podcast. We just started reaching out to locals. And like I said the other day, the 2 parties we've thrown so far, we've met so many people through the people we've interviewed or the friends we have that everyone's just inter-networking, right? Like we met you because you know Bashaka now.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're going to end up hopefully coming out to your party and we're going to meet more people you know and you're going to meet people that we know.
Yeah.
And it just keeps growing that way.
We love meeting people that have the same drive and like creative entrepreneur perspective as us. Like we just love being around that energy.
Yeah, like the energy, like your energy. Like I told him as soon as I saw him outside, I was like, "Bro, I feel like I've known you for so long." Because ever since I've reached out to him, we're replying to each other's stories, we're talking to each other on DM like we're best buds, but not once have we seen each other. So it was just so natural the moment I saw him that I was like, "Hey, my guy."
Yeah, I just have philosophy like you just. There's so many things of like, here we go, social media rant. Like basically like all these like rules of engagement. I'm like I just kind of show my love, true self, and like I slide in DMs just for friends. Like, hey, what's up? Like I'll just go in there with like reply on stories. Like, hey, what's going on? Like supporting, I love it, fire, awesome, keep it going.
Yeah, like people are like, why are you on Instagram? And I'm like, because I want to find like-minded people to be friends with.
Yeah.
Like in the short run.
And like I'm on my phone. I'm busy a lot of the times. That's kind of also like the one median I get sometimes too. Definitely with traveling around and stuff.
Yeah. I mean that's the most amazing part, right? Like literally, I mean at least I think it goes for all 3 of us at this moment. Like our lives are in this device right now. Like we can literally operate our lives through this little piece of technology, which is pretty amazing. You make friends, you make money, you make connections, everything just through a little device.
2019 is a hell of a time. Let's create some shit.
Yeah. The entire world is at our fingertips.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Some people aren't taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
But it does take like large brain power to have the entrepreneur mindset to execute it.
I do a lot of like audiobooks and readings, and that's what kind of keeps me going. Like they say like millionaires read like a book a week or something. I don't really go too much of those gurus. I always take a grain of salt with everything I hear. There's a balance to everything. I believe in like balance. Yeah. And when I'm reading these books, I may not retain all of it, but I know what's going to be important, that's going to stick, is usually something that I've seen before, identify and apply. So I'm like, I like it. Yeah. Read, identify, apply, and that's what I try to do.
Nice.
I got like 30 books.
What's your favorite one? Who do you listen to?
So there was what got me started was the Millionaire's Fast Lane, and I forgot who wrote it, but that started like getting me. It's a really long book, but it was talking about there's 3 lanes, and it's not like a quick rich kind of scheme. It kind of sounds like that, but it's not. He talks about people and money and like in business in 3 lanes, or actually 4. You have the people that are on the sidewalk that's just like really not doing anything. They're not able to do much. And you have people in the slow lane which is like, living check to check. Then you have the people in the fast lane which are like taking those risks, building businesses, getting money, going outside of the box, not doing what everybody does. Even in that book, he kind of says, don't go into real estate because everyone's going into real estate. But some of these books kind of get extreme. Even Grant Cardone does a lot of real estate.
Yeah, I love straight up real estate.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do real estate. I'm actually helping out family now, and I am saving up to like buy a house. Then I want to like start flipping houses along with that.
Okay, cool. I know we're crunching on time, but I still want to get to one topic too. Just briefly, can you tell us about your upbringing?
But if I kind of jumped when I was a kid. I used to like couch hop a lot. I had a very unstable like upbringing.
That's where your drive comes from.
Say what?
That's where your drive comes from, right?
I think so, because like unstability, like I could deal with it, but like I want to be secured. Father's side, he's pretty good. My mother's side, not so much. They're divorced, so going between. I saw literally 2 worlds. One not so well, kind of more rough, moving around, and one more kind of secure, but very very comfortable. And it was kind of like go to school, like the very stereo kind of typical steps. Cold and logical kind of things, which I get, and it's smart, but we're in this world just one time. We need to like create and be able to touch people and like help. Yeah, that's how I see it, because I saw a lot on that side, and I want to put my mom's in the house, right? Put myself in the house, and with Airbnbs, put other people in the house. See, there we go Let's take a vacation.
In the preview.
That was good.
Houston Horror Story. Get your tickets now. Pre-sales are running out. So at UH Parties, DM me for discounted tickets at Zachary J. Dobson. Follow Trident Time to get your classic watches without the classic price. You know, $300 for a 10 grand watch. You decide.
Gotta do it.
And find a mainstream of income. Save that. Don't go wild. Don't live under your means. Use your money as building blocks, not fun coupons.
That's so smart.
Yes.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Watch the next episode. Watch the last episode. Make sure you subscribe and follow us if you're watching this on IGTV. Follow him. We'll put the @ links right here somewhere. And thank you for watching.